So I hope everybody got a chance to go on a walk. Priska, we will miss you. I hope you got a chance to go on a walk and find your object that represents your purpose. Wonderful, because we will now go into breakout rooms and indeed share your object. So we're gonna share, how was that experience for you? And wait, I'm just finding the inquire together deeper. Wait. In the breakout room, yeah, share your experience. I'm sorry, I'm getting a little bit lost. Will you get, I'll put it in the chat, the instructions. Yeah, so in the breakout rooms, share your experience of the purpose walk and the object that you're bringing and you brought with you. If you haven't managed to go for a walk, at least you can hear the others to share their experience. And I hope you can use the walk because it's available at any time beyond this session to actually do it, because it's quite a insightful and useful experience, I hope. All right, let's open the breakout rooms and off you. So make sure you switch to your channel. You can hear the interpretation in your own language. Well, in the language that you speak, not necessarily your own. Welcome. Yes, people are landing back in the main room. Wonderful to see. I would like to invite you for, if you can turn on your camera for a moment and show the object that you got. I would love to take one snapshot of that. I have a leaf. Can you show the object to the camera? All right, smile. I think there we are. Nice. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed the walk and you've got yourself an interesting object that represents your purpose and your why. And don't worry if if now it's maybe, if it hasn't come to you or you weren't in the mood for it, everything is okay. This is something that is going to remain available to you. So if you want to share it with other friends or do it after the session again, where maybe you are more grounded or feeling more up for it. And when you can make your head space and heart space to do it, you can also do it. But I am curious to hear from some of you who did it and they found it useful, or you managed to find an object. How was the experience? And maybe if you can voice your why. How did you come to your why? What is it? And share it in the group. I'm gonna start with Ajib.
Okay. Sorry if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I don't really join the purpose walk. I just come back from outside. But I did share in the breakout room about the object that maybe related to my experience or something like that. It's this pen, I guess, because I'm using this pen as like to write any experiences, any lessons, any things that I could do, any things that I could write, something like that. Maybe that's for me. Thanks.
Thank you. And so Samin was unmuting. I don't know if you wanted to share something.
No, I mean, like, I also wanted to share that I didn't really do the purpose walk because I was really hungry. I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna do it because I was with Nyatwi in the group, and the experience you shared was very amazing, and I'll definitely do it. But I talked about the, like, I do guided meditations and everything, and I was just sharing how it transports you to a completely different space, and like the realization and reflection you get while meditating, and we were just talking about that.
Yeah. Yeah, that's okay, Samin. Thank you for sharing. And I hope you make the time to do it, because I think it's quite revealing. But I'm curious to hear to someone who did it and found an object. Like, how was it for you? Either our French-speaking friends or English-speaking friends. You share it with the group. Natua?
Yeah, so when I was doing the purpose walk, I think when the minute I heard you say go to something that draws you, like what draws you to it itself, and then there's this huge tree outside my office, like it's huge, it's very big, it's got so many leaves, and I'm like, I always want to be there instead of any other place here. And I was thinking about what makes me come alive, and I thought about the time when I'm in total silence and there's like a spirit within me that tells me to do something or not to do something. And especially when someone's life changes because of me. And I know in this case, because we're relating this to young people, I was already thinking of, imagine having someone say, you helped my life become better. I think that would just be like, wow. So I was, my why was, I was thinking of the words that were coming into my head was peace, harmony, growth, hope, and life. Those like 5 words. And what symbolizes that is this leaf. So I want you to look at this particularly. I picked this particular one for a reason. If you look at this leaf, it's very green, right? There's like growth in it, there's like wisdom, experience, and all that. And then if you look at this little one and this one sprouting, you can already see that, okay, there's hope that as long as this one got to that level, this one can get there too. And this one is about to get there as well. And, like seeing this, these ones, there's like, they can grow separately but together, and there's harmony in it. There's like, you can grow without like disturbing another person. Like if I'm to explain that in human terms, yeah. So that's what got my attention the most. And the whole time I was doing the purpose walk, like the only color that came to my head was green, 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 green. So yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Natua, for sharing. I hope this also intrigued the ones who haven't done it to do it, but I really feel it's a beautiful analogy how you found this leaf, and it is about growth and making things better and growing, and how seeing the potential that even if it seems small right now, it could become big. And it could grow. So thank you. And yeah, curious why the green color. I think there's probably maybe some symbolism in that. So there's a lot to learn from nature. So the purpose walk is really around identifying what is your why. And for this next session that or the time that we're gonna spend together, I would like to really inquire into your why. So before we go into the next breakout room, I would like you to grab a piece of paper and pen and try to articulate your why. What is it today? Why are you here? Why are you doing what you're doing? Why do you wake up each morning? So take a moment and write down a statement that really moves you, that when you read it out, you're like, okay, this sounds good. This is me. I'm going to put some music on. So you can reflect.
Hello, can kindly pardon me the question?
Yeah, sure. So the question is in the chat.
Okay,
that you need to reflect on. So inquire and define your why. Why do you do what you do? Why do you wake up? What makes you move? And what makes you come alive? Any of these questions, and just reflect for yourself. Okay. So I want to invite you to grab your piece of paper from earlier where you had your handprint and turn it on the other side. And if you could do the outline of your other hand. I know it might be looking a bit different since you're probably not your preferred hand, but that's okay. It's not about making things look beautiful. Just do it for yourself and see how your other handprint looks like. So on a piece of paper, draw your other handprint. And then I would like to invite you in the next round of breakouts where you will go deeper into your why. And there is this exercise where you ask 5 times why. So I would like you so in the middle now write the statement that's your current why. And then for each finger to ask, but why is that? And then when you write that second why, there's like, and why is that important? And then go deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper to the core. So a good way to do this is by interviewing each other. So you, I don't know if we are in duos, Caris. Yeah, so you will be with someone else in the room. So your counterpart, your other friend in your room, you will voice your why, and then the other one will ask, okay, well, why is that important? Why that? And then you can go, because, and then when you feel like you're exhausted, second time why, you're going to inquire. And then again, it's going to be, so if it becomes a bit annoying, just say, it's okay. I think I can go deeper. I can go deeper till you go the deepest to your why. Why is this? And even if you come to the universe and the purpose of life, perfect. So we're going to open up the breakout rooms and you'll have some time. So let's put 12 minutes or so you have time. So make sure you go deep enough. And then with the final why, just write it down or take a moment. When we come to plenary, we will share it. And I hope the instructions are clear. If they're not, please share your question. Otherwise, off you go. We're dancing with our hands. And then. All right. Thank you so much for this hand dance. Wonderful. Well, I am curious about your conversations in the rooms. This is what sucks a lot about being facilitator, when you're like, I cannot join, I don't know what's going on, and you're like, you could even gossip about me, I don't know. But I hope not. I hope you use the time much more fruitfully for yourselves and inquiring into your why. So a reminder to put yourselves on the channel of the language that you can understand. And I would like to invite you in the chat to share the why. So one of the 5 whys, doesn't have to be the last one. If it's the last one, then great. If it's the third, if it's the first one, again, that feels most resonant with you right now, that feels most like the real one. If you can please share it in the chat. Let's see if we can have, we went on a purpose walk. I wonder if we can make a purpose rain now with let it rain in the chat with the words that resonate, with what really moves you, what makes this movement, youth movement, going, because you are one drop in a wide ocean that's actually making waves across the world. So let's see indeed if you can put it in the chat, share your statement from your own reflection or what you've came up with in the groups. Yeah, and feel free to read from the others. So what is Joel's one saying? Pragya, can you help me? That one?
Yeah, Joel's saying that he wakes up in the morning and feels very enthusiastic to be able to start his day and be able to contribute to his community and his society. And that's his why.
Yeah, and there's something around understanding when there is such a big problem, such as unwanted pregnancy, and what does it do to girls? And then the wish to connect with other people, indeed. Happiness, it all comes down to happiness. Is a cry for help. Yeah, Tuwe, whose cry is that?
Young people in general, but mostly the ultra marginalized. So I work with marginalized groups, the LGBT, and I'm always thinking of, imagine someone being attacked and they call you to say, can you help me? What would I do in that instance? What would I say? What would I feel if it was me? So that just that cry for help, it's like, okay, I need to get out of here. I need to go there. I need to see what's happening. I need to say something. I need to.
Yeah, thank you. So there's like almost like a calling, right? It's and that's very good way to articulate what a purpose is. It's like a calling. It's like this pull that like kind of pulls you, like, okay, I have to, like, I cannot do anything else but this. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I can add on Hasni's behalf. She says, I do what I do because it gives me a lot of pleasure and makes me very happy.
Wonderful. We have Rehab. It's quite important to find pleasure in your work. I cannot imagine people spending, hours in an office and they hate their work, their job. That's like 1/3 of your life. Like, please don't do that. So the fact that you're doing something that brings you joy and pleasure is quite remarkable and rare. So I hope you can cherish it.
And Rehab also mentions indeed a little bit about what everything said, how family, they do it for their families, but also I think something that
that's for everybody is that, why we're in the development sector and the humanitarian sector is because we have the power to effect change in the world and bring change in the world through our actions. And I think I'm sure a lot of people can resonate with that why. So thank you for sharing.
Yeah. And then Betty says that it's simply the beauty of life, being alive, meeting new people, and loving what I do. Beautiful. Thank you for sharing your whys, and I want to share with you now why we went into this inquiry. When we connect with each other on our why, we're connected through purpose. And today's intention with this session was really to enable that. So with that, I want to bring a concept that might be familiar to some of you. That's called Youthbuntu or Ubuntu. Does anybody here know what Ubuntu means? I think our African colleagues, friends might be more familiar with this term, but you write it like this, Ubuntu. So Ubuntu is, what's the meaning of Ubuntu? Oh, there are people that maybe don't know much about this. Well, maybe it's also a matter of generations, but Ubuntu is actually in the, I think it's in the Zulu culture, so it's from South Africa. And what it means is a word that kind of encompasses what is it like at the core of humanity. What is at the core of humanity? What is at the core of, like, it's like compassion and empathy and respect for each other, and this selfless service. Because the literal translation means I am because we are. So I am because we are, and we are because I am, which I think puts this perspective of, like, imagining that all of you are indeed drops of water, but together you make an ocean. So it's a concept of humanity and compassion, togetherness. So this togetherness in a movement, and seeing yourself in others and being there for each other as a community of service of each other. And I hope most of you remember Madiba. Nelson Mandela was also one of the person who was a big in-person, kind of embodiment of what Ubuntu means. So he even shares a story in one of his interviews where he shares, back in the days when travelers would come to villages, they didn't need to ask for food and water. People will just offer it to them. So that's like complete empathizing with the people who are around you, and how you can already offer without, like, what I think that Tue was talking into earlier, really this pull to serve, to help, but also understand that your happiness is my happiness. So I'm taking this concept, and just like we made the universe the youth-niverse, I was wondering, what if we can make our own Youthbuntu? So I just came up, oh, did I still? Yeah, there it is. So what if the movement that you're part of, the youth movement, is really around this togetherness and service of each other, and indeed a Youthbuntu? Let's come up with a new word to encompass this community, the power of us connecting with each other, the power of us coming together in action. Because what one does in one part of the world will ripple, and through this connection can ripple and come to life in another part of the world. So it seems like we all benefit. So if you are able to see yourself in the others in this room, in the others that are part of this connection, even though if you don't see them on camera, even though if you know how they look like, but if you're able to connect with the cause, through the cause with others, I think you're part of the Youthbuntu. You're feeling the Youthbuntu. And this is what I want to invite you to do, especially because the next sessions and beyond this, you can reach out to this community, to collaborate, to take actions together, and to continue changing the world by connecting to your why. So when you feel this pull, when you feel it's like, hey, you know, I have my buddies, I know people, I know Betty, I know Rekik, I can reach out to them. You're connected also on social media. So reach out and help each other and tap into the potential of this togetherness. Otherwise, as isolated islands, we cannot do much. There's an old African proverb that says, how was it? If I walk alone, I might walk faster, but if we walk together, we might go further. And I think this is what this change is all about. So your success becomes my success. Thriving and changing means we all benefit. This is what Youthbuntu is about. So I want to inquire now if you can use the emojis when you hear that and when you feel this Youthbuntu. How does it feel like? And can you put your emoji in the chat? Let's see, there's a moment of, I see people sending hearts and smileys who are in love. A lot of hugs and happiness and joy. Togetherness. Thank you. So with this, we are coming slowly to the end of our session. And I want to invite people who are maybe inspired by Youthbuntu, this concept of Youthbuntu. If you're willing to write something like a manifesto or a poem in your own language, that you would like to share with your community, to indeed give it name, to give the language and the words to articulate it. What does it mean in this youth movement that you're part of? So it would be nice to have one in English and one in French. They don't have to be translated. But if there's someone who can volunteer and maybe share it, is it tomorrow morning that we thought? People can share it. Or by the end of the week, or in the WhatsApp group, whatever it is, if you feel inspired to just write something to what does Ubuntu mean to you, and share it with the group. So can we have maybe 2 volunteers who maybe feel inspired to do so, to write something about Youthbuntu, because I think it's interesting to build the concept. Oh, Rehab, you're not part of the WhatsApp group. That's strange. There we go. Link will be shared soon. No. But Rehab, does it mean, is it okay if you maybe take up and write the French kind of Youthbuntu reflection or manifesto? What does it mean to you? And then Nyatue will do the English one. You can write it in English. Nyatue. I think Chichewa might sound really nice, but for now, I think English will be enough. So can I have these two queens, like give them love? Thank you, thank you, thank you for helping us. Just want to rehab. Is that okay with you? I'm not sure if you heard that I asked you to.
Nina, can you say that again?
So I'm wondering if you can write like a little poem or reflection or a story of Youthbuntu.
I can write a poem. I'm very good at that.
Great. And then I think I asked Rehab if she can do it in French.
Rehab, est-ce que ça va pour toi pour écrire une chanson en français?
Would you maybe write a song in French? Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm not sure she can hear us. Or if not Rehab, is there anyone else, I don't know, in the group?
I'll send her a private message anyway, just to check in with her.
And then there's the WhatsApp group. And I wanted to invite this because I want to show you the power of poems, because they can really move and touch hearts. So today, as a gift, as we round off this session, I would like to offer you a poem that's called The Invitation by Orion Mountain Dreamer. And maybe some of you have come across it before, but that doesn't matter at the moment, because this is a gift that I want to leave you with after this incredible session with you, and I hope was useful for you. And I hope will inspire you to think, what is the invitation for you? What does Youthbuntu mean for you? What does it mean for you to be part of this youth movement? So here it is. The invitation. It doesn't interest me what do you do for living. I want to know what you ache for. And if you dare to dream of meeting your heart's longing, it doesn't interest me how old you are. I want to know if you will risk looking like a fool for love, for your dream, for the adventure of being alive. It doesn't interest me what planets are squaring your moon. I want to know if you have touched the center of your own sorrow, if you have been opened by life's betrayals, or have become shriveled and closed from fear or further pain. I want to know if you can sit with pain, mine or your own, without moving to hide it, or fade it, or fix it. I want to know if you can be with joy, mine or your own, if you can dance with wildness and let the ecstasy fill you to the tips of your fingers and your toes, without cautioning us to be careful, to be realistic, to remember the limitations of being human. It doesn't interest me if the story you're telling me is true. I want to know if you can disappoint another to be true to yourself. If you can bear the accusation of betrayal and not betray your own soul. If you can be faithless and therefore trustworthy. I want to know if you can see the beauty even when it's not pretty every day. And if you can source your own life from its presence. I want to know if you can live with failure, yours and mine, and still stand at the edge of the lake and shout out to the silver of the full moon, yes. It doesn't interest me to know where you live or how much money you have. I want to know if you can get up after the night of grief and despair weary and bruised to the bone, and do what needs to be done to feed the children. It doesn't interest me who you know or how you came to be here. I want to know if you will stand in the center of the fire with me and not shrink back. It doesn't interest me where or what, whom you have studied. I want to know what sustains you from the inside when all else falls away. I want to know if you can be alone with yourself and if you truly like the company you keep in the empty moments. So with this, we are closing this morning session. And I really want to thank you for journeying with me, for being open to dive deep within yourself and share part of your heart and yourself with the others. And hope that this connection will go beyond this event and continue further. In the next session, it will be really around harnessing this connection. It will be around how I can get the resources to turn this connection and this movement into action and change. And I really hope that indeed a lot of your whys will continue to manifest through you into the world through many fruitful collaboration and creativity and co-creation. And yeah, I just think the world is lucky to have you. So thank you so much. If you have any feedback, gratitude, appreciation, or suggestions, you can share them in the chat in this last couple of minutes. And yes, or just unmute yourself and share in the group. And getting back to Pragya, the host of the day, to close this morning.
Thank you, Nina. Thank you so much for that amazing, amazing session and that amazing morning. I hope everyone's felt the deeper connection on this planet here. Thanks for facilitating that beautiful session. I already feel a little more connected to everybody here. I already feel like I know a little bit more about my young peers around the world, and I hope everyone's gotten a chance to do the same, get to know each other and connect with each other despite our differences and despite the our distances and despite these screens in front of us. So thank you so much. I hope everybody enjoyed the session. Now